You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Thank you, Marshall. The cannabis industry. You know, it's kind of an irony that I'm talking about the cannabis industry and I have some reggae on. Because if any group has been associated with cannabis, it's the Rastas, you know. Anyway, right? Cannabis industry. I'm gonna tell you what. The cannabis industry is projected to create more jobs in the next few years than the manufacturing, utilities, and local and state governments in the United States. And keep in mind, you only have a few states that have recreational marijuana, like even legalized. And then you have a few more that got medical, which is a little bit different. But you imagine if all states got past that moral thing and said, you know what, let's just legalize this joint. Because you can make an argument that if y'all had cigarettes and alcohol legalized, what's marijuana? See, you got a bunch of people like just tripping over that. That's something they not even thinking. They rather, I'm gonna tell you what, they legalize it just with the numbers that I'm seeing, legalize it in all the states. All these people who, for whatever reason, think something like universal basic income is communist and stuff, might not have to worry about anything. Because it's incredible the amount of jobs it might create. Because, you know me, I checking anything now. I might have, last time I touched anything with marijuana, I'll just say it. Shit, what they gonna do, come after me? Last time I touched anything with marijuana, it was laced with something else. Like, then there's some old school stuff from back in the 80s, that Love Boat. Marijuana, I don't know what they put whatever in it. That Love Boat had you walking down the street butt naked. People told me I was doing some weird stuff with my hand when I had some of that, so that was last time, right? But then there's plenty of people who get into it. But anyway, right? I checked out this magazine. It was called Marijuana Venture. It was called a leading resource for retailers and growers. It's a business magazine. They were more into the business, not so much the lifestyle, but just the business stuff. Because they had stuff in there about like expos just for the retailers and growers, and and talking about some business stuff. But you know what's incredible? See, it's incredible because one thing, sometimes I'll get a magazine or something, just look at the ads. Now, somebody might just think, oh, it's just the marijuana. But it's so much to growing it, though, and then packaging. I mean, it's incredible. And then you got like these complicated machines. And, well, I ain't going to say complicated, but all this stuff just to grow the stuff. I was like, wow, you creating businesses. Like, I'm looking at an ad in this magazine. It was just a big ad, right, for big lighters and stuff. They're making money because the thing is, something like this makes money. Any industry makes money for somebody else, right? You know, I'm looking at this. I mean, just what goes into the dispensaries and stuff. I'm like, there's like architects making money because they have a special design. I haven't checked out one personally, and I might just walk through a medical marijuana place just to because that's so far what I got in my area. I think DC is legal. If somebody's in DC, let me know. I think they're legal. Like I said, it ain't something I keep up with as far as the recreational part or wanting to use it. But I'm looking at this. I'm like, label makers. I'm just like, man. You know, garden supply. I mean, you got the media around it. They got books on it. So it's incredible. It's incredible, but it's something, honestly, people can look into it, because even if you don't smoke, they got, like, edibles. You know, I'm thinking to myself, man, every state, if they want to save the economy, shoot, set up some stuff wherever, set it up in poor areas, because there's so much to it. There's so much to it, you know. There's so many things you can make with it. Where you're talking with a plant that just grows, and we're not even getting into hemp. There's a slight, people would know there's a slight difference because people think it's the same. It's really not. But there's so much, because I'm just flipping through this magazine now. They got like packaging companies, expos, events. They got law firms who just deal with that area. Think about it. Because all these attorneys are graduating and out there. There's only so many accidents for them to chase. And in fact, they would need to get into something like this because crime has gone down in places where they've actually legalized it. In fact, some states are talking about commuting the sentencing of those people previously convicted of the crime. Shit. Which kills me why they would even do that. I mean, that's more of a tax thing and that's more of a control thing, but that gets into some racial stuff, right? But I'm just looking at it you got companies that make custom. I'm looking in here, there's one company make custom packaging just for this. I mean, you look at something like this, and you could also make the same argument for the beer industry, which is getting big with all these breweries and stuff. You get something edible or consumable like that, the beauty of it is people keep doing it. It's not like a car where someone could literally get a car and other than minor repairs never have to get another one for maybe 20 years. Which just a real quick thing with the car, I remember mechanics said keep the oil changed, keep the air filter changed. Every now and then put some tires on there, right? But I'm gonna tell you what. I mean, just looking at this and then just the businesses. I mean, when I go to like the advertiser directory, I mean, they got consulting, distributors, employment, careers in that area. I mean, I was looking at let's just look at careers. Wait a minute. I'm like, man. Hold on, let me find that page. They had like some ads in here. It's like general manager for a farm, content writers for some of these magazines and blogs and everything, doctors, office managers and stuff, security guards. They had something in here for security, like surveillance for delivery vehicles. This is it. Extraction equipment. So that's touching on different industries and everything. Financial services, right? Paraphernalia. And this is just this because there's another magazine that I had in that industry. I got an awful lot of interest in that industry for someone who never really smoked, except for that one time with the Love Boat. Anyway, right? I was looking at this other thing because when you get into you start getting into hemp, right? Like industrial hemp, right? Which is a little different. Shoot, they making stuff with that. You can make clothes and stuff, and you got. I mean, it's so much, right? It's so much, and that's one of the things too, just in general, because I mentioned the beer industry. If you want to get into business, anything that's a consumable that they have to come back for, it could be body products. It's always going to be money there, because if you have a good body product, people come back for it. Speaking of body product, I gotta catch up with this person. All right, but just think about it, because it creates more. It creates more. Anything that you grow, ultimately, the pharmaceutical industry really, that's how they stay in business, because people keep using pills or even herbal supplements. That stuff keeps growing. Like anything that, if you can grow, really no economy, and this goes into a little bit of something else, no economy should ever fall. In fact, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that in the next one. Political commentary a little bit, business-wise. So anyway, right? That's it for today, y'all. Let's go make that money.